Hi there, thanks for tuning in. I would like to talk to you today about overeating, binge eating, emotional eating, and the price you pay for that. You see, the question I would like to ask you is, what is your life worth to you? Every hour, every day, what is your life worth to you? And what would your life be worth to you if you could live it in happiness, contentment, satisfaction, free of the basically crippling medications that are prescribed by your doctors, psychiatrists, because you suffer from depression, anxiety. That's why you are emotionally overeating, binging, and then purging again. So you have the anorexia and then you have the bulimia. What is that costing you on the scale of your life? Let me tell you, in my lifetime, I admit I have made mistakes that have cost me dearly. I have cut corners. Way back. Cut corners. Only to figure out, to come to the conclusion at a certain point that I was still searching. I was still hoping that I could make certain things work. And I didn't want to spend the money, but I was miserable. Miserable. I dragged myself onward. Sounds familiar? And then you come to a point in your life and you say, I cannot go on like this. I cannot go on like this. I came to that point. I cannot go on like this. And I looked, I searched, and I found help, support. But it cost me money. Sometimes a lot of money. And you know what? All I can say is that of the thousands and thousands of dollars that I first wasted or didn't want to spend, I spent some money which added up over the years to a substantial amount, to coming to the point, say, I can't anymore, finding the right support system, the right therapy that cost me money, but I've got my problem solved. How wonderful that was. I'm living a life of bliss. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. My life has meaning. Yes, I paid for that. Yes, I paid for that. But you know, here's the thing. Life is so short, you have no clue. Once you hit the 50 mark, which I've hit, and I have no problem in saying that, but once you're over 50, wow! It seems like 1 and 1 is no longer 2. It's like 1 and 1 is 6, 8, 10. It goes so fast. Your life goes so fast. And living that life in the fast lane, in misery, why? Why don't you make the decision? And decision comes from the word decidere, which means cutting off, like with scissors, cutting off what was before, changing into a new direction, and say, like, you know what, I cannot do this anymore. I'm going to spend the money. I'm going to dedicate myself, my effort, my input, my time to really solving this issue in my life. And maybe you're considering me blunt, But most of your issues are created in your childhood and they're not dealt with. And so you still have those issues and you drag them along like a backpack and you don't even know that you have the backpack. But you have the backpack. And unfortunately, you cannot look into that backpack because it's there. And you cannot take it off to look into it. That's the metaphor for your childhood. Because it's most often painful to look back at the events that took place in your early childhood and that were never resolved. And you're still paying the price for that. Even though you're 15, 20, 30, 40 years later. It's like being in prison. And let me tell you that a murderer gets 22, 25 years. Sometimes it's more, but the average is 20, 25 years. And if they behave themselves, they get out at 15, sometimes even at 10. Why are you constantly dragging that issue around your neck that you're not aware of, but you are aware of something, that your life is miserable? Emotional eating, anxiety, depression, overeating, guilt, shame, purging, vomiting, bad picture of yourself, not socially feeling accepted. You're paying the price for that. On the grand scheme of your life, there is no comparison for the price you're paying, have been paying, and a good hypnotherapist. Honest to God. We are trained in helping people with anxiety, depression, anorexia, bulimia. So the choice is yours. You want to drag it out for another 5, 10, 20 years, be miserable? Or say, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to find the money. Somehow, I'm going to find the money. Ask my grandparents, whatever. Going to find the money. I'm going to pay for a good therapist, good hypnotherapist, someone like me. And we can figure it out if we are a fit. Direct message me. I'll send you the Calendly link. You can make an appointment with me. We can have a conversation free of charge. Anywhere between 20 and 40 minutes, we can talk to see if I can help you, if we are a good fit, if you like to work with me. And then let's go. Let's go. Let's change your life. Let's create a beautiful life for you. I cannot do that. I can only facilitate. I can only help support you. You are the one who's going to take the first step, and you are the one who's going to make all the efforts. I'm just supporting you, facilitating you, helping you go through that trauma that you had as a child. And trust me, you are not the only one. You are not alone. You're not the only one. At least 80 to 85% of every family globally is dysfunctional. Dysfunctional in some degree. Want to talk about sexual abuse? 85% of the women have been sexually abused before the age of 16. That leaves some marks. If that is not addressed, if that is poo-pooed, because in a lot of families, sex is nothing to talk about. It's just, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. Yet, it's amazing. 4 out of 5 women approximately have been sexually abused in some degree. Leaves a mark. Men as well. I don't know what the percentage is, a little bit less, but it's brutal. It's brutal. We are a really weird race, we humans. Really, really, really weird. And I don't know if that's going to change anytime soon. But in the meantime, being aware of that, and sometimes when you have been sexually abused, you suppress it so deep that when I ask you the question, have you ever wondered, or do you know if you have been sexually abused? The answer can be no. Very no. And until you are in hypnosis, in a really, really relaxed state, looking into the subconscious mind, will it surface. And sometimes not even in the first attempt. Because it has been so painful. And is so much shame and so much guilt, because that's what you have been told. It's your fault that you were sexually abused. It is never your fault that you were sexually abused. Never, 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 never. You were a child. You didn't know. You didn't know right from wrong. That's what you were supposed to be learning in any situation from your parents, your grandparents, your caregivers. But in 85% of the cases, it goes wrong. And it's the grandparents who abuse you, your father who abuses you if you are a girl, your uncle, your nephew, your neighbor, your friend of your father, of the family. I've heard approximately everything. So let's just get over that. Let's just create a beautiful life. Let's have you stop paying the price for what went on in a childhood that is not you anymore. You are not 5 years old anymore, not 6 years old anymore. You're what, 18, 20, 25, 30, 40, 50, 60. I don't care. You're not that little kid under 10 or around 10 anymore. So let me help you deal with that pain and put a stop to it. Because whatever happened in your childhood, whether it was or was not sexual abuse, whatever took place there is still percolating in the background and has you express the behavior that you're doing today, which is overeating, binging, puking. Because of that. Choice is yours. Make the decision. I'm here. Direct message me. So that's it for today. Thank you for listening. I don't like to sugarcoat anything. I call a spade, and you either like it or you don't like it. That's fine with me. If you like it, press the like button. Pass it on to somebody who you think could benefit from that. No, you are not alone in your trauma dealings, your trauma issues. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and I look forward to hearing from you. And we'll talk again soon. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.